Across continents, across centuries, across cultures that never met, humans have told remarkably similar stories, built similar symbols, asked the same impossible questions. Welcome to Between Worlds. Let's explore where history, belief, and human imagination meet. There is a pattern in human mythology so consistent, so universal that it appears in nearly every culture on earth. At the center of the world, in the mythology, in the cosmology, in the sacred geography, there is a tree. The Bodhi tree in Buddhism, Yggdrasil in Norse mythology, the tree of life in Kabbalah, the Axis Mundi in Mesoamerican traditions, the world tree in Yoruba cosmology, the cosmic tree in Siberian shamanism. Different names, different cultures, separated by oceans, by centuries, by everything that should make independent invention unlikely. And yet, nearly every culture on earth placed a sacred tree at the center of existence. The question is not whether this happened, the question is why. There are many things human cultures disagree on: the shape of the universe, the names of the gods, what happens after death. But somehow, across continents, people kept arriving at the same image: a great tree standing at the center of existence. That kind of consistency is difficult to ignore. Trees are among the oldest living things on earth. A redwood can live for 2000 years, an oak for 500, a yew for 4000. When you stand beneath a tree, you are standing beneath something that was alive before you were born and will be alive long after you die. This is not a small thing. For humans, creatures with lifespans measured in decades, a tree is a gateway to deep time. It is a living connection to the past. It is proof that time continues beyond the individual. Trees also do something unique. They connect earth to sky. Their roots go down, their branches reach up. They're literally a bridge between two worlds: the underground world of soil and water, and the sky world of sun and air. They also exist on a time scale that humans struggle to comprehend. A child can play beneath the same oak that sheltered their grandparents. Entire kingdoms can rise and fall while a single tree continues growing. If you were trying to imagine eternity, a tree is one of the closest things nature offers. Every human culture that has ever existed has lived beneath trees. Trees provided shelter, shade, food, fuel, refuge from predators, the very things necessary for survival. In a world where humans were small and vulnerable, trees were giants. They were reliable, they were permanent. They existed outside human time. Is it any wonder we made them sacred? In Buddhist tradition, the Bodhi tree is the tree under which Siddhartha Gautama sat when he achieved enlightenment and became the Buddha. The tree itself still exists. It grows in Bodh Gaya, India. Pilgrims travel there to sit beneath it, to meditate in the shade of the same tree that sheltered the Buddha's awakening. But the Bodhi tree is not unique to Buddhism because of the Buddha. The Bodhi tree represents something universal. The tree as the place where transformation happens, where the individual transcends their ordinary existence and becomes something more. In this sense, the Bodhi tree is every tree where a person has experienced awakening. It is a tree as a threshold between ignorance and knowledge, between sleeping and waking, between the ordinary self and the enlightened self. The tree does not cause the transformation, but it witnesses it. It shelters it. It provides a space in which it can happen. In Norse mythology, Yggdrasil is the great ash tree that holds the nine worlds together. Its roots reach down into the underworld. Its trunk rises through the middle world, the world of humans. Its branches extend into the sky world, the realm of gods. Everything exists within Yggdrasil. Everything is connected through it. It is the axis around which all reality rotates. When Yggdrasil shakes, earthquakes happen. When Yggdrasil's leaves fall, seasons change. When Yggdrasil is threatened with destruction, as it is during Ragnarok, the end of the world, all of existence is threatened. Yggdrasil is not just a tree, it is the skeleton of reality itself. It's what holds the cosmos together. But notice what's true about Yggdrasil that's true about actual trees. It is always growing, always reaching, always connecting. Even as it is threatened with destruction, it endures. After Ragnarok, Yggdrasil is described as survived. New worlds grow from its seeds. The Norse understood something true about trees. They are resilient. They survive catastrophe. They adapt and they continue. Notice what the Norse didn't imagine? They didn't place the center of the universe inside a palace or a mountain or a city. They placed it inside something alive, something that grows, something that changes without ever ceasing to be itself. That choice tells us as much about the people who imagine Yggdrasil as it does about the tree itself. In Kabbalah, the tree of life is a diagram of the cosmos. 10 spheres connected by 22 paths. The whole structure mapped into a tree. The roots are in the divine realm, pure spirit. The trunk is in the middle realm, consciousness, the human level of understanding. The branches are the material world, form, manifestation, physical reality. The tree of life is not describing what a tree physically is. It is using the tree as a metaphor for how reality is structured, how the divine flows into the material, how the spiritual and physical are connected through intermediate levels. But look at what all these different traditions are saying about trees. They're connectors, they're bridges, they link different levels of reality. A tree does this literally. Its roots pull nutrients from underground, its leaves capture energy from the sun, its body transforms both into wood, into growth, into life. Trees became sacred not because humans invented arbitrary symbols. Trees became sacred because humans perceived something true about them. When a culture makes a tree sacred, they're saying, this is what we aspire to. This is what endures. This is what connects us to something larger than ourselves. Psychologically, the tree also represents growth. A seed becomes a sapling, becomes a tree. We use tree metaphors for development constantly. Family trees, career trees, decision trees. The tree is a primary metaphor for how things grow and branch and connect. The tree is also a liminal space. It is neither fully earth nor fully sky. Standing beneath the tree, you are between worlds, protected but exposed, sheltered but open. In many traditions, the tree is where transformation happens. Under a tree, you meditate. Under a tree, you receive. Under a tree, you receive visions. Under a tree, you make important decisions. The tree creates a threshold space where ordinary rules don't quite apply. By now, it would be easy to dismiss these examples as coincidence, one religion borrowing from another, similar stories spreading through trade. Except, many of these traditions developed oceans apart, which raises an uncomfortable question. Were they influencing each other or responding to something every human being instinctively recognized? The Mesoamerican world tree, called Wakashan in Maya mythology, connects the underworld, the middle world, and the upper world. Sounds familiar? It's Yggdrasil. It's the tree of life. It's the Bodhi tree. The ceiba tree in Central America, the baobab in Africa, the ash, oak, and birch in European traditions. Different trees, different cultures, same symbolism. A tree at the center, connecting worlds. In Yoruba tradition, the sacred tree connects the realm of the ancestors with the living world. Offerings are left at the base of the tree. Prayers are spoken beneath its branches. The tree is the point of contact between visible and invisible worlds. In Japanese Shinto tradition, sacred trees, often marked with rope and paper, are understood as dwelling places for calm spiritual beings. The tree is not worshipped itself, but understood as a home for the sacred. In Aboriginal Australian traditions, songlines trace the country through sacred trees. The trees mark the path, they hold stories. To understand the land, you must understand the trees. What's remarkable is not the diversity. What's remarkable is the consistency beneath the diversity. Humans are creatures who need to orient ourselves in space and time. Developmental psychologists have noticed that children naturally organize the world vertically, up and down, high and low, heaven above, roots below. Even our language reflects it. We look up to people we admire. We fall into despair. We speak of being grounded. We need to know where is the center, where is up, where is down. What is the structure of reality? A tree provides all of this. Looking at a tree, we can see complexity organized into coherence. We can see time made visible, rings showing years of growth, scars showing survival of damage. When we make a tree sacred, we are also making structure sacred. We are saying reality is organized, it is comprehensible. This is psychologically essential. Without this understanding, the world is chaos. With it, the world is a cosmos, a ordered whole. The sacred tree is also a container for something deeper. The human need to believe that we are part of something larger than ourselves. A tree is larger than us, older than us. It will outlive us. By standing beneath it, by recognizing it as sacred, we place ourselves in a relationship with time and scale larger than the individual. This is not fantasy. This is recognition of truth. We are small, we are brief, and we are connected to something vast and enduring. In modern urban life, many humans live disconnected from nature. We see trees as resources to be harvested, or as obstacles to be removed, or as decorative elements in a landscaped park. We have forgotten that trees are sacred, not in a religious sense necessarily, but in the sense of being deserving of reverence, worthy of respect, foundational to existence. This is not a small loss. When we stop seeing trees as sacred, we stop seeing them as necessary to our own survival and sanity. We stop understanding that we are part of a connected system. We stop recognizing our dependence on something larger than ourselves. We stop experiencing the humility that comes from standing beneath something ancient and vast. The environmental crisis is, in some sense, a crisis of forgetting. We forget that trees are important. We forget that we depend on them. We forget that they connect us to deep time and space. Indigenous cultures that never forgot, that continue to treat trees as sacred, also continue to maintain sustainable relationships with forests, not because they had better technology, but because they had better theology. The next time you stand beneath a tree, notice what you feel. Not what you think, but what you feel. There is something about trees that speaks to us at a level deeper than rational thought. Something in us recognizes the tree as important, significant, worth paying attention to. This is not sentimentality, this is wisdom. Your ancestors recognized this. Cultures across the world recognize this. And some part of you still recognizes this, even if your conscious mind has been trained to see trees only as wood or shade or obstacle. The sacred tree is not a belief you have to adopt. It is a recognition you can return to. Perhaps that's why the image of a sacred tree refuses to disappear. Long after many of the myths faded, the metaphor remains. Because a tree does something few other things in nature can do. It reminds us that growth is slow, that strength comes from deep roots, that everything living is connected to something beneath it and something beyond it. Maybe that's why every culture placed a tree at the center of the world. Or perhaps they simply noticed that it had been standing there all along. The object itself was never the point. The object was a way of talking about something larger, a fear, a belief, a part of being human that is difficult to describe directly. And that may be why these stories survive. Because long after the original meaning is forgotten, the question remains, why do humans keep seeing themselves in things? Thank you for joining me between words. Until next time, stay curious.